Hey guys, welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andrew Seegers, and this time we're joined by Animal Crossing experts Josh Thomas from the BitBlock and Trailer Drake of the Game Theorist to discuss the potential news that Animal Crossing may be coming to the Wii U. So let's get started. Alright guys, so this may be a bit of a stretch, but when has that ever stopped us before? But there was an interview with Engadget recently with one of the developers on Splatoon, who also worked on the Animal Crossing series before. So one of the questions that Engadget asked him was, when are we going to see Animal Crossing on the Wii U? And here is the developer's response verbatim. Well, that's difficult for me to answer at the moment. Yup, that's pretty much all we can say. What I will say is that you may have seen an announcement recently about Animal Crossing product coming out on the 3DS. I can tack that onto the end of my response. So that's pretty suspicious sounding.
Pretty vague.
Right? It's incredibly vague, but by being vague, he basically, it sounds like he's basically confirming that there is in fact Animal Crossing being made, presumably for the Wii U.
Why wouldn't there be?
So do you think this is basically confirmation we'll be seeing Animal Crossing on the Wii U very soon, maybe at E3 even?
So I think it is. I mean, I don't think we even needed this to assume that it would be at E3. I naturally assumed it would. New Leaf did so well for Nintendo, it would be stupid of them to not have gotten a Wii U game in development as soon as possible. And a lot of people might not realize it, but New Leaf kind of is old. I mean, it launched in November of 2012 for the 3DS. And then it came out in the spring in 2013 for pretty much the rest of the world. So it has been a little bit of time to where they definitely could have been developing something. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much do think that this confirms that Animal Crossing will be at E3. I already was assuming that it would be. New Leaf was such a huge success. New Leaf has been out now for at least a couple years, even longer in Japan. And so yeah, I mean, I think that definitely this hesitation that he had pretty much does confirm it, because otherwise he would have just been like, oh yeah, well we can't wait to work on Animal Crossing again, but we were focusing on Splatoon, and so he seemed a little more nervous than he should have been.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think about it, that there's only been a few Nintendo consoles that have not had an Animal Crossing game since they launched Animal Forest on the Nintendo 64, then that was brought over to the GameCube. We have the DS, Wii, 3DS. A Wii U version just makes sense.
Every platform has had one since the original game.
Yeah. I mean, even the handhelds. So, I mean, there's obviously going to be another one. It's a huge international success. It's honestly one of my favorite games of all time.
Wow.
And there's nothing that wouldn't have made it obvious. Like, it was obviously going to be at E3. It's obviously in the works, and this just confirms it, essentially. Man,
you guys are, you sound super confident on that. I mean, yeah, because Josh and I were looking at the release list before this discussion, and there has been one basically every 3 years. And the alternate platforms, or alternate, consoles to handhelds, which means, there is one coming up on a console very soon if you go by that pattern. Technically, if you go by the pattern, it should come out next year in the US instead of this year, but who knows, it could show off at E3 and, for preparation of next year, or maybe it will be a holiday title.
Next year makes more sense, to my opinion.
Yeah, I think it would too.
Yeah.
But I can also see it being a holiday title to fill in some of the gap left behind by Zelda.
And it'll be right there for Christmas, so you can have the events.
Right.
That would be a very animal-themed holiday season for Nintendo, with Star Fox and Animal Crossing.
Well, plus there's a fact that there is that, what's that 3DS game called? The one he mentioned, the home developer thing, home designer?
Animal Crossing Happy Home Decorator.
Right, which we already know is coming out in the fall. Now, they haven't said that that's going to work with any existing Animal Crossing game. What if that actually worked with the Wii U one? Like, what if you could design homes in that game, then port them over into the Wii U version? Or
that'd be cool.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be some neat functionality.
So I could see, like, some synergy there by releasing 2 Animal Crossing games in a close enough period of time where they actually help each other out, right? Kind of like Smash Brothers on 3DS and Wii U.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, so it sounds like we think this is plausible. There very well could be an announcement of Animal Crossing Wii U coming at E3. So with that said, or, sometime in the near future at least, with that said, what would you guys like to see from Animal Crossing on the Wii U? Like,
where's my amiibos? Where's my amiibos?
Wow.
I want a KK Slider amiibo right now.
Oh, jeez, yes.
That kind of is a perfect game for it, right? Like, I mean, especially they're already embracing amiibo with the 3DS version with the cards. Now they can move into full amiibo for the Wii U version.
I guarantee that the cards will also have compatibility on the Wii U version.
Oh, yeah.
If they're already going to be there. Like, maybe you scan it in and a villager, if it isn't already a member of your town, like comes for a visit or something. Or maybe there would be a way to basically assign villagers that you want, which would make it so much easier than to piss off the people in your town, let them move out, and hope somebody comes in, and hope that they don't ruin your freaking flower patch you planted 3 days ago, because you know damn good and well that that was there. Don't ruin my flowers!
Oh my gosh.
This is a very angry mayor we're talking to right now.
But everybody who plays Animal Crossing that wants the specific villagers knows that feel.
I think most importantly, yeah, one of the things I really want them to change is in New Leaf, animals would just move wherever they pleased, which was really disheartening because obviously you worked very hard to design something in your town, and, you know, just having your trees or your bushes or your flowers or your pathway destroyed because somebody's moving in, that's kind of not good, especially when they've already got this set up to where they could have easily just had, like, Isabel alert you when you start the game and be like, oh, Mayor Joshi, there's somebody that wants to move in, but we need to help them decide where they're going to move, and then you just, you know, pick the spot like you would a public works project.
Yeah, you're the freaking mayor. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Why aren't you made aware of this?
Exactly. Yeah.
You're a mayor of a town of like 10 people. You should know when people are moving in and where they're moving to.
And I did like having the signpost that's saying like where a future resident would be, because then I can know to work around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the mayor thing though, like even, you know, they don't even need to do that anymore because you are the mayor and you can just say, you know, where you want people to move.
Makes perfect sense.
It does. It would tie in perfectly if they... Actually, I guess that's a good question. Do you think they'll continue with the mayor mechanic?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Better.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think there's no doubt they'll bring that over.
You can't go back.
Yeah, it's a good idea, and I actually hope they build on it, because although they did some really cool things with it, it still felt pretty limited to me, and I'd like to see it expanded even further, give you even more control over the town.
I mean, essentially, being the mayor in New Leaf just really allows you to build stuff outside and determine where it goes. Like, you couldn't really do much more than that.
Right.
There's a few little things, but there's just... I think with New Leaf, they've built a foundation that is so good, but it is so untapped in its potential that they really don't have to completely reinvent the wheel with the Wii U game in order to make it a fantastic game.
Like, why can't you... Like, I think one cool idea would be, what if you could set events? Like, there's everything you can do...
Oh my god, I was gonna say this! Yes,
right?
yes!
Like,
You're the
why
mayor,
can't you
so
create your own competitions? Or, like, your own, like, holiday or something, right? That you could set on an annual or weekly or monthly basis.
Drake Day.
This is one of the ideas I was going to talk about, but like, so holidays are holidays. Those I think need to exist during the right time. Halloween needs to be Halloween, but they should have a set of like 10 to 15 events that are exclusive to Animal Crossing that you as the mayor get to decide when they happen.
Right.
And what could be great about that is that means all your friends could essentially have these events happening on different days.
Yeah.
So, oh, today is the blah, blah, blah event in my town, so you guys should come over and see it. And, you know, so that would just be really, really neat. It makes you feel like you're more of a mayor, and it also gives you reason to interact with your friends even more.
I agree.
That's a really good idea.
That
I think
fantastic.
that would be really cool. Like, you could even make, like, if you had that set amount of holiday or set amount of events you could set up, you could create, like, your own 2-week block of just, like, non-stop events.
If you wanted to, it'd be crazy.
It's a constant party in Drake Town.
Right. Oh, man.
And just by going back to the amiibos really quick, I think the Nintendo is thinking ahead to where they realize they can't release an amiibo for every villager in this game. Like, and you always have people that are like, why isn't there a villager for Cookie? My favorite villager is amiibo. You know, there wouldn't be an amiibo for it. So, like, with the cards, they kind of answer that cry. Like, oh, you can't get the random villagers, but you can get the e-reader cards. Well, not e-reader. What are they calling them? Amiibo cards?
Yeah.
So with the amiibo cards, they give the ability to have every character represented without having to make an actual figure for them. Mm-hmm. And I think the actual amiibo figures will be, you know, Tom Nook and KK Slider and Isabel and the main characters.
Yeah, and plus we already have the Villager amiibo, which I don't really know what it could do. Maybe like give you like an exclusive like Smash item, because that is specifically the Smash Bros. Villager.
Yeah, I think Nintendo probably wants to kill the Smash Brothers Villager. I think they want to just not talk about that anymore. That's probably why they, you know, discontinued it really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they knew, okay, we're going to make a whole line of Animal Crossing amiibo, so we don't need that Smash amiibo on store shelves anymore. Because they would not have discontinued that, because that was a really popular amiibo.
Oh, yeah.
Animal Crossing is huge. Villager is like one of the most popular characters in the new Smash Brothers. So I think the reason to discontinue him was for that reason alone, that they knew the future has a lot of Animal Crossing amiibo in it. Also, do you guys think they'll be plushy like Yarn Yoshi, or do you think that they would be... Because this is Animal Crossing. You think of Animal Crossing, you kind of think of fuzziness.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I hope so, because I actually would... Really?
Really?
No, I wanted it to be plastic, because I like Animal Crossing a whole lot, and I feel like having them be made of yarn, like the Yarn Yoshi, or like something plush, I feel like it would be more easily destroyed.
Okay.
And you can also stain them somehow. Like if you're, like, let's say that you're.
Listen, what are you doing with your amiibo?
Whoa!
You don't want to visit Drake Town, man.
I'm staying away from that.
I would say some things about that, but I'm going to move on. So,
Well, can we just stick on the amiibos for a little bit longer? Because I have something that I'm very curious about.
No, we're done here.
What? About the amiibos? No.
Go ahead. Yeah, what do you want?
Well, okay. Thank you, Andre. Every Animal Crossing game we've had the Nintendo-themed items. I wonder if there'd be like exclusive items for other franchises.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
It would make perfect. This is a perfect game to scan in your existing amiibo and get like a Mario hat or something.
Exactly, or like you scan Little Mac and you get his pink hoodie.
Like, I mean, I'd be very surprised if that's not the case. That literally makes the most sense of any possible thing they could use amiibo for.
Of course,
there's actually already a Little Mac downloadable content item from City Folk. It was his hair.
Oh, that's right.
Like that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
So they could, I mean, they don't even need to do any work for this. They could just put those items in there already and just be like, oh, these are amiibo exclusive items now, you know.
Right.
So
do you think people will be mad about that?
People are going to be mad about anything for any reason, so you can't avoid that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on for other ideas for Animal Crossing. What I wanted to see, and this is kind of more of a blue sky, like, greater, like, more general idea, is that I want to see more, like, online stuff. Because Animal Crossing is originally branded as, like, a communication-type game. And for being a communication type game, it doesn't seem that heavy on it. Like, it seems like for me at least, a pretty isolating experience still. You live in your town, mostly by yourself. You can open up your gates occasionally and have people take a really slow train into town. And you guys can hang out for a little bit during these very limited windows. I want to see them greatly expand that. Like, why can't I send a freaking letter to you, Josh?
So here's the... Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's it. Why can't I send you a letter?
Well, but here's the weird thing. For some reason, on the handheld version of Animal Crossing, they haven't perfected the art of being able to send your friends mail.
Right.
However, in City Folk, you can. Like, if we were playing City Folk back in the day, I could send you a letter and you would get it. Mm-hmm. And we wouldn't have to be in the same town.
You have to step back then.
Yeah, it must be something to do with, like, the servers or something that they use for their handheld games. I don't know.
I guess the Wii did have, what was it, Wii Connect 24.
Wii Connect 24,
so maybe, maybe that shit. And they have a similar, there's of course Miiverse on the Wii U, which I feel like could be a great platform for Animal Crossing. Yeah. But I feel like there's so much more they could do with being online, actually having a console that's online. And with Nintendo finally starting to get how online works, I feel like there's so much more potential here. Like, what I would love to see is, I wanted to be able to visit people's towns offline. And I know they had the Dream Suites with Animal Crossing 3DS, but that felt like such a... I mean, it was like visiting a dead version of that town. You couldn't interact with it in any meaningful way. I want to be able to visit people's towns and interact with it.
So here's where we can start debating stuff. Because I feel that people work very hard on their towns. Yeah. And so if you just have people kind of randomly coming in when you're not around, they could... I mean, if somebody trampled one flower in my town when I wasn't around, I would be so angry.
Just one flower? So I have a solution for that, Josh. I have a perfect solution. So there is a police station, which otherwise doesn't really do much in the game. You should be able to go there as mayor and set permissions for people. You can lay down the law, right? You can be like, I don't want people to do anything in this town. They can't step on anything. They can't use their axe. They can't do anything. Or you can set up, or you can let some people use their axe, for instance. Or you can set it so only your friends can do certain things in the town. Like, I feel like you should have full control over what people can do in your town.
I like that.
And that'll be handled through the police station, because if you violate those laws, or if you try to use your axe, like, copper will run up to you and like tell you, hey, you can't do that or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess that would work. I just don't want anybody coming to my town when I'm not around.
If anybody comes to my town, they better not be running.
Yeah.
There's no running in my town.
I just feel like Animal Crossing just feels to me like such an isolating experience. I would love to see, like, I wish I could move into other people's towns. Like, why can't I move into Mayor Josh's town, for instance? I hang out there.
Oh, that'd be complicated.
Well, I think we know the answer to that. I mean, do you really want the end?
I mean, I would think it'd be really cool if instead of everyone having their own town, if you had the choice to move into other people's towns and hang out there and have like a collaborative town. Like, you actually do things together, actually work together on making this cool looking town.
That is a big thing to ask from Nintendo.
It is, and it's not going to happen. But I think it'd be awesome.
They would need to have like servers where they're hosting your town at all times and whatnot. I don't know if Nintendo is really there to do that yet.
I can think of a step in the right direction.
What's that?
How about we have local co-op where you have the tablet and the TV, and that two people
I mean, that would be very cool.
That.
Yeah, that would definitely be something interesting, and it's really... It's funny how many people have actually shown Animal Crossing 2 as the years have gone by, and they're all like, oh, we can't play this together with split screen? Mm-hmm. I'm like, no. So that could definitely be something to to look into. I would like that, yeah.
That'd be a good one. Actually, that would be a great use. It's not like Animal Crossing is particularly hardware intensive, so they should be able to get it running on 2 screens.
Andre, I have to yell at you about something, though.
Uh-oh. Again.
Well, no, you said that you feel that, like, Animal Crossing doesn't really do much online,
Yeah.
but do you feel that way about New Leaf still? Because New Leaf...
Oh, absolutely.
But look at the island. They let you go to the island and you can play all those mini games together. And that's like,
the island is a great step in the right direction. There is just not that much to do there. I would love to see. So actually, what I think would be a better idea, or something along those lines, is I think Animal Crossing on the Wii had a really good idea with the whole city thing. It just wasn't implemented well there. I would like to see something like that in Animal Crossing Wii U. Except when you visit the city, you actually meet up with other people playing the game at the same time, like instant versions of the city. So you would run into like 10 random people or whatever. And I would actually like to see more destinations like that. So you could have the island, you get the city, maybe you could have like, like it's some kind of like coastal area, beach you could visit, like where other people hang out. I don't know, like just different areas in the world you could visit where you run into random people online.
At the very least, I'd like it to be like Splatoon, where they have just like the characters. I think that'd be a really limited way to do it, but it would at least be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
One of the ideas that I was actually playing around with, because obviously there's a big demand for people to be able to share the same living space, but I'm not fully on board with the idea of people living in the same town, because I'm really selfish and I don't want people in my town when I'm not around.
Right.
But I think one idea that could be kind of cool is, what if there was like some special area where there was a big giant tree and there was like a tree house there where you and your best friends can own that tree house together and put furniture down and move it, and maybe there's even like land underneath it where you can do stuff as well.
Oh, wow.
So you can kind of travel to this special area, and this special area is the area that you and your friends get to work on together. That way you have your town and it's all yours, but then you and your friends, who you consider your best friends, have that special area.
I want the exact opposite. I want to be able to have more than one person living in a town, because my fiance and I were both really hardcore gamers, and now that we've moved in together and everything, we found a huge problem of we like the same games. And we were like, when Zelda Wii U comes out, are we going to have to buy a second Wii U and a second copy of the game so we can both play the goddamn game? And what if, we want both of us to be in the town? Or what if I was
Well, but you can, though. I mean,
Animal
Crossing lets you have up to 4 people living in the same town.
Yeah, and I like that. I like having that. I don't want like other people from other like households joining in there. But the treehouse kind of makes sense. But it just, I don't know. It just seems like it would be a little extra stuff when we already have the addition from New Leaf with the museums and your personal like other thing. I think if we could take that idea and collaborate it more into the treehouse idea that Josh had.
It's a tricky thing, because obviously with Animal Crossing, I think more than probably any other Nintendo game, you have so many different types of players.
Yes.
And trying to accommodate all of them is not an easy task. So you have players who are like, I want to play in the same village and live in the same village with friends who live miles away. I want us to all have that. Like, I mean, that's kind of what you want, Andre, right?
Yeah, it is. And I'm not sure that it's hard to accommodate, though, because as you mentioned, you already can live in the same town locally. I don't know why they just can't extend that online, besides the whole server difficulty with Nintendo. And that would be an optional thing. You wouldn't have to do that. I think it'd be really cool, though, if you could live online, if you could play in the same town as someone else who doesn't live in the same house as you do.
But there would be multiple mayors then. That would just be chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Part-time mayor.
You'd have to have an election.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, geez, now we're really making Animal Crossing political.
Yeah.
You have to decide who's worthy of the mayor in your town.
All right.
So is the one mayor going to be a donkey and the other one's an elephant?
Yeah.
Of course. That actually ties in perfectly with the whole Animal Crossing idea, right? Alright, I've got another idea for what I want them to ditch, and this is probably going to be my most controversial idea, even beyond the online living in the town and moving in other people's towns thing. I want them to ditch the rolling log view.
Oh, same with me, same with me.
Alright, we're on the same page! High
Time
five.
is up. That was cute. I liked it, but it's not really doing it for me anymore, and I don't think with the Wii U, they have the capability of making such a gorgeous town. I don't want to view it on a rolling log.
So I agree. I want either one of two ideas, and I'll give them credit. The rolling log idea did look really cool at first.
Yeah.
Like it's a really neat visual style, but I don't think it's the best use for the game. So I want either them to go back to the 64 style, the top-down view. I love that. It may feel like more like a bit like an adventure game, like with a Zelda top-down camera. I just like everything about that. Or 2, go full 3D on this baby.
Yep.
I want to be able to move the camera wherever I want. But it's kind of weird in the existing games where you can see really well behind you, but you can't see anything ahead of your character unless you run to the camera, right? So
I'd like it to look like the level did in the Mario Kart 8 DLC.
yeah.
I think the town looked really good. I like how it didn't conform to a grid-based layout. I think it looked really good, except for the animals being gigantic and kind of creepy. but I think that the town itself looked gorgeous, and just I wanted to walk in it. I don't want to race through it. I want to go talk to people.
Right.
So I think they definitely need to keep the grid layout, though, because that's like a gameplay mechanic, because we can put patterns on the ground, and that's how you kind of, you know... So I think that... But yeah, I totally agree that, like, having... The Animal Crossing world can be beautiful. We've seen that on the Wii U, and I even think the GameCube game's actually pretty beautiful still. So yeah, I think changing the perspective of it would be a good idea. I wonder if maybe they don't want to make it full 3D, because you'd have to then manipulate the camera, and that might be too difficult for some people, and Animal Crossing is like kind of a game that appeals to literally everybody. But I don't know, I think, you know...
I think just more options would be good. Like, if it defaulted to a top-down view, maybe you could go into a more 3D view just by using the right stick.
Yeah, well, I mean, what if you could change the camera angle just the same way you do in your house, but outside?
Yeah, right?
Zoom in a little bit, zoom out a little bit, and, you know, rotate it.
Yeah, that would work really well, actually. I want more to do in Animal Crossing. Like, I want more places to go. I kind of touched on that with the idea of, like, there being global areas you can visit. But even locally, like, it's kind of, like, every town kind of feels the same a little bit, but they're all like a giant square. The only thing that changes is the exact paths through it and some of the textures in the building locations. I would like to see them, like, I would like to see more varied landscapes. Maybe not necessarily always a square. And I wish there were like more things to discover in that area. Like, what if you're digging and you discover like a hole into a cave someday, and you could go explore a cave and like underground caverns. What if like passageways opened up as you went through the game?
Mr. Resetti's Reset Center, hello, that's there.
Yeah, that is there. If you want to spend the money to open it.
It was also in the GameCube.
Was it? I don't remember.
Or the Japanese GameCube game. You could hit a rock and it would break, and you could go into a hole underground and see Mr. Resetti's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't remember that in the American one, so...
Yeah, it wasn't in the American one.
That's cool, though. Yeah. I want more stuff like that. More things to explore, more things to discover.
I feel like there's two ways you can really add on to it. One, I really love the idea of more global areas where you can be with a few other players in real time. Like, I think the city could be greatly expanded upon. Like, we could add a mall or something. Brewster could have his own coffee shop at the mall or in the city area. Or I think it'd be cool if they added more things you could build with your public works, that you could really diversify the town itself. Like, we had the coffee shop, that was neat, but I feel like more little stores or more little places to do to make your town even more unique.
Right.
You know, it's funny because I do feel like New Leaf did a lot in terms of like just putting tons of little details. But with Animal Crossing, I think you're always going to want more. Like, there's never going to be enough. But I definitely applaud them for like the amount of little details they added in New Leaf. Like, they added the collecting the ore and the crystals that you can get from rocks, and it just seemed like when I first started playing that game, I was really blown away by, as an Animal Crossing player, how much stuff was new and different.
They did add a lot. There was a lot of new things in there.
Yeah, you're being greedy, Andre. That's what I'm getting at here. I'm trying to walk around.
It didn't feel like that much, so, but it all fit like within the existing template they had set.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that crazy of stuff they added. I like to see them just go like balls to the wall and just really add some crazy stuff we haven't even imagined yet. Like, I just want like every area to feel more different. Like, I would love to if every town felt more distinct.
The biggest thing is that if we're going to be adding more things to Animal Crossing, we need to have more inventory space. And I think the New Leaf did a really good job of helping out with that by letting you stack fruit. I think that's phenomenal. One thing that I'm surprised they haven't even added to the games are a new type of clothing accessory. Where is a section for backpacks, satchels, purses, messenger bags? Not only would you get like more space because you have your pockets and then this additional bag space, which also makes sense. It makes your character look a little bit more unique as well, and with various different types of storage devices that you can wear.
I think at very least they need to have a little extra compartment in your inventory for your tools. I mean, most people, I think, who play Animal Crossing will just take their tools and you put them in your envelopes, but that's really annoying when you want to pull them out. So having just a special area with the tools, I think, at least that's something that I feel is necessary.
Yeah, I feel like just having the gamepad.
Oh yeah, I think it's great because I mean, how many times have you been playing Animal Crossing and you'll go to pick something up, it'll be like, oh, my pockets are full.
Every time.
But if it's on your gamepad screen, you just look down and see, oh, okay, I have 2 more spaces left, and you just pick it up. So yeah, having that. Why didn't they do that on the 3DS game? Instead, they show you the map at all times. What was that about?
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know why that was a decision.
I know where things are in my town. I want to know how much shit I have.
Right?
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah. So, you guys, do you guys have any other ideas for things you'd like to see added?
I have like 5 hours worth of ideas, but I'm holding myself back.
Well, you are. So we haven't talked about this yet, but you are basically creating your own Animal Crossing game, right?
I am. I'm fully designing a series of videos where I'm in 3D modeling them and texturing stuff. I've been doing this for like the last month, and I really want to like show it off, and it'll be done in like a couple weeks. But yeah, I've spent quite a lot of time thinking of ideas for Animal Crossing on the Wii U, so I'm fully prepared for it.
To race against time now before Nintendo announces theirs at E3, maybe.
It is! I know, there's pressure now.
Yep. Alright, so it sounds like we're pretty much wrapped up here, so thanks for watching, guys. If you liked our discussion, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, which you can find links to in the description below. It's a good way to keep up to date on everything we post. And, Drake, do you want to tell people where they can find you at?
Ordinarily, I would say, like, everywhere, but I'm going to make a special push to my comic book channel, Comic Drake. So if you want to know more about comic books and figure out what's going on in the movies, it's really newcomer friendly. ComicDrake.com. The end.
Hey, how about you, Josh? Where can people find you at?
They can find me waiting in line for Amiibo at 7 o'clock in the morning. No, website-wise. It's just the BitBlock everywhere on YouTube, Twitter, and whatnot.
And you have a Patreon coming up soon, too, right?
I do. It's to launch this new video series where I am, for some reason, going to be putting all this effort into making ideas for Nintendo games. So I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I've seen some of the stuff you've been posting on Twitter, and it looks pretty exciting, so watch it.
I'm going to give you the first look. You're getting the sneak peek in like a week or so.
Oh, I can't wait. Just watch it. Your version of Animal Crossing is going to be way better than Nintendo's Animal Crossing.
That would be nice.
Alright, guys, and of course, keep an eye on GameXplain.com for hopefully more on Animal Crossing Wii U soon, and other things gaming as well. Alright, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.